What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 video here today on the channel. Now today, this one is going to be a little bit of a theory video rather than, say, strict news here. And honestly, this actually came up because I was trying to plan out my summer schedule with videos here a little bit. I'm doing a lot of traveling this summer, and I want to make sure that I have time to bring DLC 3 videos. And that got me to thinking, well, I should probably know exactly when DLC 3 is going to drop so that I can plan some stuff around it here. As you guys know, Eclipse dropped for PlayStation 4 users back on April 19th, as well as it just came live for PC and Xbox One users here. So it is something that now everybody has access to it, so looking forward is only natural, right? But nonetheless, take this all with a grain of salt. Once again, it's all just theory here, and I'm basing it off of some educated guesses as well as previous information and trends here. So this is just all a theory, but I think it's one that could potentially hold some ground here and may even be a valid date that we'll give you here exactly. So with that being said, let's kick it off by taking a look at other DLC 3 dates in previous Call of Duty titles. Let's start back with Modern Warfare 2. Resurgence dropped on June 3rd, 2010 for Xbox 360 users. Black Ops dropped Annihilation on June 28th, 2011. Modern Warfare 3 dropped Collection 3 on August 8th and 9th, 2012, and if I'm not mistaken, that day difference was for Elite members. Black Ops 2 dropped Vengeance on July 2nd of 2013. Ghost dropped Invasion on June 3rd, 2014, and Advanced Warfare previously dropped Supremacy on June 2nd, 2015. So, by all accounts, that means that we should have something to look out for in the next couple of weeks, right? Well, sadly, it's probably not as soon as you'd think. We may have seen previous trends hit harder and earlier in the month here, but we all have to remember that Black Ops 3 has had a very different marketing year, starting all the way back with the very first teases here of it, when multiplayer was first teased with campaign instead of holding it until August like every other year previously. But what I mean really though is that the DLC started late this year here. That marketing is a lot different as well. So let's take a more comprehensive and in-depth look here at the marketing strategy that may be in place here with this. We know that there are always constants in terms of time frames just so that the pieces work out well and flow together. So with that being said, let's take a look at the DLC releases here so far. Awakening dropped on February 2nd, which was the release date of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, plus 88 days. Next we'll have Eclipse here, which dropped on April 19th, which was Awakening's date plus 77 days for DLC 2. Now, DLC 2 plus, say, that 77 lower average here could potentially equal DLC 3, which would take us to July 5th. So that is a pretty solid date here, but it all is really hinging on the fact that we're assuming it's the lower of the intervals between, and I think that that's actually a proper assumption. Too much later in July and you'll risk rushing a DLC 4 or not giving it proper playtime before the launch of Infinite Warfare. So with that said, we also have to take into account not cramming it in too early. As we've seen, DLC has a common trend of hitting the consoles by early June. However, if that were the case, it would effectively be 25 to 30 days early here within Black Ops 3. If we wanted to take a look at the middle of June, well, that wouldn't really work either. Why? Because that's when E3 takes place. For those that don't know, E3 is a giant expo for the latest in gaming, used primarily to introduce new titles. It's one of the mini Super Bowls of the gaming world each year, if not comparable to the Super Bowl in terms of gaming for the year. So why is it important though? Well, because Activision does not want to push Black Ops 3's DLC in the same weeks or weeks leading up to, for the simple fact that Infinite Warfare will be showcased at E3. Meaning all eyes at E3 are on the new title here, showcasing the glory and the hard work of Infinity Ward's brand new title. So with that said, the weeks leading up to E3 are kind of off limits here, even with the parameters of how early it would be out of the way. So those days to weeks will be used to hype up the newest info that will be dropping prior to, and the massive amounts of information dropping with content at E3. So what's my take on all of this? Well, as with every major interval of COD time, there's a massive reveal with the hype period before and the calm period after the storm for a little bit, usually roughly right around a 2-week period of time. We've seen it actually as early as the Eclipse launch and reveal, with Black Ops 3. So Eclipse was officially announced on March 31st for PlayStation 4 users. A few days later, the Infinite Warfare trailer dropped, which was May 2nd to be exact. But in the next 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 3 days to be precise, Eclipse dropped. So as you can see, that 2-week interval in its prime and glory here within that. So this type of stuff actually happens all the time, and it's a pattern that is proven to hold pretty true to its nature. So with that said, E3 and Infinite Warfare presumably going on the middle day lasts from June 14th, Infinite Warfare probably debuting on the 15th, and the expo will then end on the 16th. My rough estimate will be Tuesday, July 5th, give or take a week's time or so here for DLC 3's launch. But with that said, Tuesday, July 5th falls directly in line with a 2-week pattern, which would be 2 weeks and 4 days after the end of E3's expo. So that calm after the storm would definitely have time to die out a little bit here and everybody get hyped for more Call of Duty content. So it potentially could be a week earlier due to the patterns with previous DLC releases and it getting slightly a little bit later in the year with it. But I think that is considered a little bit too early with E3's coverage. So I'm gonna stick with July 5th here for my preliminary theorized date here. So when can we expect an announcement though if that's the case? More than likely right before or right after E3. The days leading up to or tagging along with some of the information with Infinite Warfare or just slightly there after E3 ends just to give it enough time to promote. But with that said, I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up here today, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you think of this theory? Do you think it's a valid one here? Do you think that's when we potentially could see DLC 3 dropping? Or do you have a different date in mind? I'd love to hear your thoughts either way down there in the comment section down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy this video. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on that road to 40,000 subscribers, so every little bit does help and is of course greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to keep in touch with me a little bit more personally, Twitter is the best place to do so here with that. My link is always down there in the description below as well. So thank you guys. My name is Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.